Hi there, I'm so happy you've joined us for another informative edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm Theodore Henry. Coming up, we continue to look at government's projected expenditure for the new financial year. Plus, learn about trafficking in persons and what we can do to stop it. Sit back and relax for these, plus our HealthWise segment and other interesting features in this half-hour journey through the pages of Jamaica Magazine.
Protect yourself from the flu virus. Visit your nearest health center or doctor to get the flu vaccine. Cover your mouth and nose when coughing and sneezing. Wash your hands regularly with soap and water or by using an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Avoid the spread of germs by not touching your eyes, mouth, or nose. And be sure to regularly disinfect surfaces and objects that are used often. Remember, your health is your responsibility.
The Ministry of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries plans to spend billions in the 2020-2021 fiscal year to support government's economic growth and development strategy. We open the estimates book next to find out some of the activities and programs that will be pursued.
The 2020-2021 estimates of expenditure has been tabled, and the Ministry of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries has been allocated over $10.6 billion for housekeeping expenses, added to which it's expected to earn another $1.4 billion. $7.9 billion of that amount will be utilized in boosting agriculture and improving the fisheries sector. Meanwhile, $4.1 billion has been identified for the industry and commerce portfolios. Government, through the help of its bilateral partners, is also providing $3.5 billion to fund development projects. Here is the breakdown. The Inter-American Development Bank (IDB) is this year spending over $317 million to promote the growth of the global services sector GSS in Jamaica. The GSS projects are being implemented by JAMPRO and include the acquisition and implementation of a talent platform, development of a career pathway framework, as well as the updating of a digital skills curricula and the development of a pilot training plan. As the ministry targets a dynamic agriculture sector, upgrades to the Bodles Research Station in St. Catherine will be continuing. Several tasks to be undertaken include the completion of infrastructural works of the apiculture office and laboratory, upgrade of the ICT system, and renovation of offices, along with the procurement of farm machinery. The Caribbean Development Bank is funding the Southern Plains Agricultural Development Project to the tune of $250 million. The aim for the fiscal year is to develop 3 wells in Parnassus, Clarendon, acquire GIS equipment, and conduct land surveys.
And there are many challenges that farmers have throughout the length and breadth of Jamaica. As he said, one of the challenges is bad roads.
It is for this reason that the Farm Road Rehabilitation Project will be continued this year with a budget of $1.2 billion.
Another one is water.
Farmers in St. Elizabeth and Manchester will see continued work being executed on the Essex Valley Irrigation Infrastructure Development Program. $612 million is being spent by the Caribbean Development Bank and the Government of Jamaica to continue the drilling of wells and to complete the design of an irrigation network system and the Global Gap Buildings design. Construction is also expected to begin on an administrative building, as well as a Global Gap Building and renewable energy infrastructure to support energy efficiency. Meanwhile, the National Irrigation Commission is continuing its infrastructure rehabilitation project with a $250 million budget. This year, they will install a solar photovoltaic PV system pumping station at Hounslow and replace aging and inefficient turbine at the Freetown No. 2 pump station. 3 variable frequency drives will also be installed at the Hearties, Bowers and Hounslow No. 3 pump stations. 865 meters of pipe at the upper and lower Rhymesbury pump station will be replaced, while the Rio Cobra infrastructure is to be restored. The government of Jamaica is spending $326 million to enhance the Agricultural Competitiveness Program Bridging Project. The project will be undertaken under a three-step approach. Component 1 being the development of the Spring Garden Agro Park. Component 2 is capacity building, and Component 3 is focused on the mango industry development.
All Jamaicans want is an opportunity to grow. Give them the right environment, give them the right leadership, give them the right atmosphere and inspiration, and they will rise to the occasion.
Strengthening partnerships, improving infrastructure, and creating opportunities, these underpin the projects that have been budgeted for the Ministry of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries.
A serious crime that often prowls under the disguise of goodwill and opportunity for success can actually smash the hopes and dreams of those caught in its net. This next feature continues our four-part deep dive into human trafficking and what you should know to identify, report, and stop it in its tracks.
Most times, human trafficking is financially motivated, both on the trafficker's end and the victims. The trafficker very often exploits the financial vulnerability of the victim and leads them to believe that they can legitimately earn some money, offering them false hope. Sometimes, a job offer is too good to be true.
Deception is usually with the promise of something better, usually jobs especially. A lot of people are offered opportunities that they don't fully investigate before they do this. And then when they get to their destination, they find out that that's not exactly what they signed up for. Then they are forced because they have financial obligations or other family issues.
I had a friend and she went to a small island and she wanted her friend to come with her. But my friend was telling her all about the money and she's like, yeah, crazy money. And she was like, yeah, girl, you know, if you do nothing, then you just have to answer phone and thing. First lie. Money no work. If someone did work, trust me, all of it I reach. After she finished getting everything together and they went to the small island, and she only find out that she gone to her house and she's like, no, she won't leave, but then her passport get taken away, ID get taken away. She can't leave till she have to pay back whosoever buy her the ticket. So, there's and then she just get knocked out of here.
So we learned from the streets that many young, ambitious young women seem to be falling prey to these false job advertisements. We wanted to examine that theory. We wanted to see just how many young persons would be willing to respond to a vague and too good to be true ad. So we put in the Gleaner and the Star an advertisement for a young, attractive personal assistant who must be Christian-minded and open-minded. We promised her $110,000 per month. And we want to see what's gonna happen. So behind me are 2 cameras in 2 separate vehicles. And we're expecting women to be responding to this ad today. Let's see what's going to happen.
So, I'm not sure how much you know about the work I do, but I'm an international financial consultant. So I look at market profiles for various countries, and because different investors want to know which kind of industries and goods and services to invest in. So take your time. I really appreciate you coming out, but because I'm running so late, would you mind to just accompany me to one of my clients' offices now because I had a meeting with him? No. Really? Yeah. Is there no way at all?
No, I can go.
Yeah, okay, because I just want to make sure I keep up with him before I lose. I don't want to lose him. All right. So this is my car right here, so you can hop in on the passenger side. Hello. So sorry about the confusion, but this is actually a part of a campaign to raise awareness on human trafficking. Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that. This is actually where the second cameraman is.
So what happened? 4 young ladies turned up for the interview for the personal assistant position that didn't really exist. These 4 young ladies were 4 of over 20 who responded to this advertisement. And those over 20 young ladies came from parishes from across the island, particularly rural parishes: Hanover, St. Elizabeth, St. Catherine, Portland, St. Thomas, Manchester, and Kingston and St. Andrew. All of those parishes were represented in the young women who responded to this ad. Now, we noticed that of the ladies who actually came for the interview, there were some things that they did not ask. They did not inquire as to the specific details of their employment. They didn't know what exactly they were going to be doing as a personal assistant. The second thing, they weren't certain about the details of their employer. Who exactly was this Alexandra Smith? They knew nothing about the company for which she worked either. They didn't even know the working hours. Another thing was that they weren't certain of the location. None of the girls that arrived for the interview were certain as to where it was. Now this is very dangerous, and you can see just how easily it was for those young ladies to be trafficked if we really were traffickers. They did not know where they were going. The other thing was that all of them went into the car or were about to go into the car, even though they did not know the individual and were uncertain as to why they would be going to another location for an interview or just to pick up something. These are all red flags. We want to warn our young women and young men who might be reading the classifieds in the newspaper. We understand that these are very difficult economic times, but we need to be wise.
Yeah, I know, right? But I mean, that's the thing, that people who do trafficking look all kind of ways. Yeah. And you can't make any assumptions, so you have to always be careful. So it was good that you looked in the back seat.
One young lady did not even have a cell phone on her. She had no means of communication with anyone should something have happened. And she was actually dropped off by a friend and did not know this area at all. So if something had happened, how would she have gotten help?
It is when you're too eager to seize an opportunity without carefully considering all the pros and cons, without carefully doing your research as to how credible is this company that's advertising in the paper for persons to go overseas. How credible is this scheme that I'm hearing about that's going to make me rich in 10 days? How credible is this guy who says that, oh, he has a business on the North Coast and they just need some girls to work some tables? Take the time to do your research.
The trafficker will target particular persons depending on the demand that they have.
The sad reality is that many Jamaicans are vulnerable to being trafficked every day. If you know or suspect that someone is a victim of human trafficking, please call 188-PROTECT for victims under the age of 18 years or 311 for victims over 18 years. You may also call the TIP unit at 967-1389 or email tip.ocid@jcf.gov.jm.
In line with Goal 2 of Jamaica's National Development Plan, which calls for a society that is secure, cohesive, and just, government is advancing the importance of justice for all by ensuring free legal representation for persons who come in conflict with the law. Find out how the Legal Aid Council is ensuring everyone has access to justice next.
Yo. Alright, yo, may I make a call?
Hello?
Yeah, Jen, auntie, just get a call from the station here. Them lock up Johnny.
Lord have mercy. So where them have him there for?
Some gun business in a taxi and them
something.
something.
Out of trouble. Business not even a one too right. Oh God.
No man, enough horrible money. No. You can go to a legal aid council, them have a list of lawyer where that them provide it free.
Alright, me love.
Yeah man, just go down there and talk to somebody.
We will meet you there in a little while.
Johnny's case is one of some 3,000 for which the Legal Aid Council makes duty counsel representation each year. The Duty Counsel Service provides for free legal representation from a lawyer at the police station for persons arrested, detained, or remanded. The assigned counsel will visit the person in need and provide help at the various stages: the lockup, identification parade, interrogation, and apply for station bail or bail by the court. Lockup visits and bail application are free of cost and require no application form. Everyone has the right to justice through the country's justice system, even if they cannot afford the cost for legal services. The Legal Aid Council has been ensuring this restricted access to justice, and lawyers assigned complete hundreds of some 1,500 court cases annually, benefiting hundreds of children and adults. Legal aid is the system that provides legal representation for Jamaicans who can ill afford to pay for this service whenever they come in conflict with the law, thus ensuring access to justice for all persons without financial barriers. The organization established to support these services is the Legal Aid Council. The Legal Aid Council, a statutory body within the Ministry of Justice, governs the legal aid system. For court representation, the Legal Aid Council or the court office completes an application form on behalf of the client and assigns a lawyer to represent the client until the end of the matter. All attorneys assigned court matters are private attorneys required to vigorously defend the right of the client, take full instructions from the client, advise the client, and ensure the best outcome on behalf of the client. Cases involving murder matters only require assigned attorneys to have 10 years' experience or more. Where a defendant requires DNA, handwriting, or other specialized expertise to advance their case, the Legal Aid Council will undertake the cost for a client unable to afford these professional services. While the Legal Aid Council provides full representation in court for clients with criminal matters, the council only provides consultations on civil matters before determining whether the individual can afford legal representation. Thereafter, the council provides an attorney to assist with the court matter. The duty counsel representation from the point of arrest to the first court appearance is free and it does not require the completion of an application form.
There are two main ways to access legal aid for criminal matters. One is the duty counsel stage. This is where a person has been taken into police custody and you're entitled to a lawyer. No application to fill out, no contribution fee to make from the moment you are taken into custody until your first court date. That is duty counsel. The officer has a duty to call duty counsel. Every station should have a list of the duty counsel available. If they don't, contact the legal aid counsel for an up-to-date list. If it's a family member that comes to the legal aid counsel or the clinics, if the person is in custody, not charged, no application form, no fees. The counselor or the clinic makes a call, wherever the person is to an attorney who has his office near to that location and assigns the attorney. The attorney at the end of the matter sends in a claim to us. So the client makes no payment to the attorney.
Good morning. Thank you for calling the law firm of Stone and Brighton. How may I help you?
So the duty counsel is mandated to ensure that all the rights set out in the law for question and answer are observed for you as a citizen. All the rights and protection surrounding ID parades are maintained. Additionally, if the lawyer observes a child, any person under 18 being held at an adult lockup, that lawyer must make an application for the child to be removed to a juvenile facility. So that's the duty counsel stage. For the court aspects, if the judge observes that the person is without a lawyer, the judge will invite the clerk or assistant clerk to interview the person and grant legal aid. So the citizen is protected at every stage. At the duty counsel stage, some people would have been released after the ID parade, released after the question and answer. But for those who have been charged, you're entitled now to a lawyer to represent you during the trial. For that, there's an application form that the court would fill out or the legal aid counsel or a clinic would fill out. And you may be asked to make a contribution. But the person who is not able to make any contribution will be granted help. If the means test shows that at the time you're not able to pay anything, then it will be zero contribution. So it is designed in a way that it helps rather than it obstructs. The client will basically be stating whether they have any income and any expenditure, the bills they have to pay, number of children that they have to support, etc.
The legal aid counsel pays the private lawyer for his or her services to the legal aid client at the completion of the matter. If the client can contribute towards the process, they make payments at any branch of Scotiabank and not to the lawyer.
That contribution, there's no deadline on it. If the person says at the next month end, we are flexible. What we find now is that more Jamaicans are now able to approach the court, and whether funds are there or not, whether unemployed or not, they now can approach the court being represented by counsel. So a lawyer is there to put forward your defense, to speak on your behalf. And we have helped persons who were convicted. And in fact, in one instance, we provided a DNA report at the appeal level, and we were successful.
The council continues in its bid to reach more persons in need across the country using a Justice mobile unit acquired through the Citizen Security and Justice Program and its international partners. The unit has been taking the service to some 50 communities, particularly in rural Jamaica and the inner city yearly.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
On the community notice board this week, the JIS is advising that our telephone lines are currently experiencing technical issues. We ask for your patience as we work with our telecoms provider to resolve the problem. The Ministry of Health and Wellness gives notice that the town hall meeting, which was originally scheduled for Thursday, March 19, at the Sean Lavery Hall in Savannah Lamar, Westmoreland, has been cancelled due to COVID-19. Also on the community notice board this week, the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission advises that all scheduled JCDC events are postponed until further notice in light of the COVID-19 safeguard measures in place. These events include all Festival of the Performing Arts Parish Finals, all Jamaica Culinary Arts Workshops, all Jamaica Children's Gospel Auditions or Eliminations, the Jamaica Festival Song Semi-Finals in Kingston, the National Culture Club Conference in Kingston, and St. Mary's Evening of Excellence. For further information, please call 876-881-6433 or email andrew.clunis@jcdc.gov.jm. Persons may also call 876-436-7836 or email kristen.leng@jcdc.gov.jm. And the company's Office of Jamaica COJ is encouraging customers to utilize its recently launched Electronic Business Registration Form EBRF to register their new business names and companies. This platform can be accessed via the agency's website orcjamaica.com. The platform will facilitate the reservation and registration of entity names and allow for customers to courier documents to themselves upon successful registration. And that's all for your community notices this Saturday. If you have an event to share on our notice board, give us a call at 876-922-8680 or email cbishop@jis.gov.jm.
We've come to the end of our half-hour journey, but be sure to come back right here tomorrow for another edition of Jamaica Magazine. Until then, continue to watch these and other programs by logging on to our website, jis.gov.jm, or subscribing to our YouTube channel. You may also find us on all the major social media platforms and through our mobile app that's Android and iOS compatible. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Theodore Henry. Take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.